Hello everyone, my name is Wanjiro, and in our today's show I have brought a very interesting guest. We are used to him as the interviewer, but today the tables have turned and I'm the one interviewing him. So without further ado, allow me to introduce our guest today, Hiram.
Hiram is here. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're looking good, I have to say.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's get to know you, Hiram.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Hiram?
Who is Hiram? First and foremost, I would like to say hi to everybody, to people who have been watching this channel. Thank you so much. God bless you wherever you are. People in diaspora, people who are in the country, thank you so much, and may God bless you. You have asked who is Hiram?
Yes.
Hiram is a man. Hiram is a man. My full names are Hiram Maina Mwangi, and I'm a born again Christian, and I love God. Apart from that, I am a producer, a filmmaker, a journalist by profession,
Okay.
and an actor who have been featured in so many films here in Kenya. Yeah, that is basically me.
So Hiram, we want to know, where was Hiram born? When was he born? In a family, wewe ni namba gapi, like in the way, counting down to your siblings. We also want to know which school you went, your background when you were a child. Give us a brief introduction towards that.
All right. I was born in Laikipia East County, a place called Nanyuki. That is where I was born. I was born in the 90s. I'm not gonna say which year.
Gen Z ama millennial?
Me see Gen Z, I'm millennial. I am millennial, I'm not a Gen Z. So wanasema Gen Z ni from 1996 kupanda.
I think 97.
97 kupanda, hata hiyo 96 iko. So I'm not a Gen Z.
Okay.
I'm a millennial, and I thank God. I went to is it Daiga Primary School? I think I can't remember, but my playgroup classes, I attended Daiga Primary School. After that, we relocated with our family, and we went to Nyeri Karatina. So I'm born as a sixth born in a family of 6 children. I'm the sixth, and I have a twin brother, and of course he went to be with the Lord.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but I am the sixth born. So now when we went to Karatina, I went to Dimaini Primary School.
Okay.
I schooled there until class 3, and then we relocated again. We came to Nairobi.
Yes.
In Nairobi, I went to na nimeenda shule mingi. Where?
The whole list.
I know. When I came to Nairobi, we went to a place called Huruma, but of course, due to, I've been brought up, in a family where we were struggling, even to afford meals. So when we went to Huruma, life became so hard, and my parents could not afford to pay rent. So we relocated to a ghetto as a family. And then when I went there, my parents were looking for a school that they can be able to afford. So I went to a school that was known as Msamaria Mwema. You see even the name.
Yeah, the name itself is.
Ni ya kusaidiwa tu. Unaona,
Yeah.
Msamaria Mwema. I think the school fees was around 500.
Oh.
So, Msamaria Mwema, I schooled there from class 3, 4, 5. And then school fees ikaonekana pia kulipa because it was a private school. Ikaonekana pia kulipa inakuwa shida. So, my parents now decided I go to public school.
Okay.
There is something that I tell people. Me, I came to, my first time to speak Swahili. My first time is when I came to Nairobi. In our country, we used to speak Kikuyu.
Yep.
And that is why my Kikuyu is very fluent. I never need to speak Swahili or English mpaka ninakuja Nairobi. So when I went to school in Nairobi, now Msamaria Mwema, I used to speak in Kikuyu, and kids will laugh because I will tell them, I was thinking I was speaking Swahili because I thought when you are speaking Swahili, you are supposed to say, for example, I'm telling you unipatilishie hiyo simu. I used to tell them, negereria dimweo. Negereria dimweo.
You change the accent.
I changed it to Swahili, but now the kids would laugh. Oh my God. But it's okay. Venye tulielewa si venye tuko. So, my parents took me now to Uhuru Primary School from class 6 to class 8. Uhuru Primary is in Uhuru Estate. It's a public school. After that, I wanted to go to a boarding school, but remember, all this time you can see is a family that is struggling. Yeah. Remember, we are 6 kids. We are all going to school. Life is hard. We're in a ghetto. We are living in a rental place, a house that was costing 300 shillings per month.
Yes.
And my parents would struggle even to raise that 300 per month. So my parents could not afford to take me to a boarding school because they are educating also the other kids. Okay. So I went to Dr. Mwenje High School, Dr. Mwenje High School in Kariobangi South. I schooled there from Form 1 to Form 4. And of course I thank God because it is in that school that I was able to connect with God more, because I want to thank the late principal of that school during my time, and may she rest in peace. Her name is Mary Nzui. That woman of God, she was a teacher, she was our principal, but she taught us the ways of the Lord, to know God more beyond how people just say God without knowing, without getting that direct connection with Him. She taught us, especially if you are willing, she taught us how you can be able to pray to God, how you can be able to fast. That is when my spiritual journey of knowing God more started. Yeah, I went through high school. I finished Form 4. At that time, God now, I'm the last born now. We have, people, our first born, second born. Now God started also helping them. They are finishing school, they are getting jobs. So I was able to go to a college and I started doing accounting. But that was never my passion. And during high school, just to remind people, I started loving theater. That is in high school. That is when you start realizing your passion.
Yes.
And I started realizing I am so much in love because I would go to, in high school I used to perform in drama, and I used to go to community theater performances, and that is when I started now going to auditions. And after high school, when I started now doing the accounting course, I used to tell my brother, because at that time he was the one like guiding me what to do, because he's an auditor, he has done accounting. So he was taking us to accounting schools. After you finish high school, you go now and start doing accounting, because I think people follow what is in the family.
In the family, yes.
But it was never my passion. So when I was doing my, the movies shooting without pay, I met, a guy known as Mr. Kilunda. He's a teacher. He was a teacher, acting teacher, pale Tahidi High, and he's the one who like linked me to the producer of Tahidi High. And at that time, I was a teacher. After I finished high school, when I was doing the accounting course, now I got a job as a teacher in high school, and I used to teach business because I'm doing accounting, so it was very easy for me to teach business. And because I was so good in history and of course CRE, those were my subjects. I used to teach that in high school for like 2 years. Yeah, and when I went to Tahiti, I got that role. I started acting, I came to realize, no, I cannot continue to do this accounting. I have to change my career because I'm in love with film. So I went and enrolled to Riara University, and I did mass communication and multimedia journalism, and I graduated in the year 2018. After that, I got a job at Royal Media Services. I was I started doing. I was an editor and a producer, and at the same time, I was still acting on Tahiti High. So I decided to continue my studies. I enrolled, a course because I was doing journalism. Now I enrolled to USIU, and I started doing my, bachelor degree in film. But I did not finish because now you see I'm working. It was so hard. So and I'm acting. I'm producing film for Inoro TV. So it became so hard, and I stopped schooling up to today. But it was still okay because I had already graduated with, journalism.
Yeah.
So, at Raw Media, me, I'm this person that I'm always never comfortable staying in one place. I get bored. So I resigned.
Oh.
Yeah, I resigned. And I got another job in Mount Kenya TV. Mount Kenya TV, I went there as a producer only. So I was just producing. And I stayed there from the year 2018, from 2018, the end of 2018 to 2022. Around 2022, 2021.
Okay.
So during my stay there in Mount Kenya, it was good. We were doing a good job. I was later promoted, and I became the deputy head of production.
Okay.
And then later on, I became the head of production in Mount Kenya TV. But now they started, not paying salaries. And for me, I cannot stay in a place there is no money because I love money. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Yeah, true.
So, as I said earlier, I get bored a lot, and I resigned without knowing where I'm going. Remember, I resigned from Royal Media Services, and now I went to Mount Kenya TV. Now, in Kenya, I think, to work on Citizen TV, after Citizen, I think you'd want to go to BBC.
Yeah, true.
So I did not now look for a job in media. I just said, no, I'm not going to be employed again. Let me just focus on myself. Let me just continue doing my things. But, I resigned. I continued doing the Inoro TV programs, movies for them under a contract. So that one kept me going. And still, I was still a musician at that time. I started singing, but my music, nobody, used to to listen to. You should tell me to sing for them my songs.
Let's have one.
My first song, when I was in Mount Kenya TV, that is when I produced my first song. Ilikuwa inaenda hivi. It is a Kikuyu song. I sing in vernacular. Kaiwe mwega na duhana mundu tuganaga ũguo tũhũ ngwĩte atĩa na nĩguo wĩkĩriga Ngai mũtana ũguo nĩguo ngũgwĩta. That was my first song.
Wow, okay.
And then I think during that time in Mount Kenya, God was speaking to me a lot, and I used to sing, to write my songs through, His revelation. So I composed another song, my second song, which was going like, Ngai werisho kwatige marakara, ndukaithe ũthiũ waku. I can't remember.
Ndukaithe ũthiũ hĩndĩ.
Yeah, oh, you know it.
Yeah, I know it a bit.
Umenipandisha ki.
No, I don't know how to
Ngai wirisho kwatige marakara, ndukaithe ũthiũ hĩndĩ ya ũgwati. Twaragirie tha ciaku o mũthenya, tũkinyagĩrie wega waku Mwathani. That was my second song. It was during COVID.
Okay.
I was inspired to sing and to tell God, just change your mind. It is actually telling God, kindly, change your mind and stop all this, calamity. And my that song ilikuwa inasema, wewe Ngai utacenjagia kĩhingo kĩrĩa kĩrũmu, ũhoti waku na hinya waku gũtũũra tene na tene. Like your power, your mighty power will live forever. That was that song. My fourth song ilikuwa inaenda rĩtwa rĩrĩ nĩ Ngai nĩcirema narĩo rĩhotaga marĩa maremete andũ rĩhotaga marĩa maremete andũ. So my fifth song was going like rathima arĩa makũmena, rathimana ndũkamarume, ona kana kwĩrĩria, tigĩra Ngai akũrĩhĩrie, tondũ nĩwe mũrĩhanĩria. Ona angĩkorwo wĩiguĩte ruo gatikwo nĩ andũ, he Ngai ena mwĩhoko, nĩakũĩ na marĩtwa maku, nĩakũĩ na marĩtwa maku. That was my fifth song. Only my family listened to those songs. Yeah. So after that, I stopped music. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to continue with music. So nikaendelea tu na my film. In 2021, now I'm doing that. I'm just doing my shows. There is a YouTube channel. There's a YouTube video that I did, and it went viral. I interviewed a guy called Azomosh. He's an actor in Tahiti High. So he was, pursuing me to kindly interview me. Things I think it was during Corona time. Kindly come and interview me. And for me, I did not actually. My YouTube got hacked. The one that I had put all my songs, it got hacked, and I gave up, and I never opened another account. So what happened after Omosh told me to interview him? I told him my YouTube even got hacked. I actually have created another account recently, and now I started uploading my other songs that I had, but it only has 200 subscribers. So for me to interview you and put it on my channel, it will not help you. Mm-hmm. I actually connected him to go to other channel, maybe people who have grown their YouTube channels. Yes. Yeah, and he went, but he never got the kind of help that he wanted. But he really insisted, Hiram, kindly interview me. I feel you interviewing me because we are friends. Right. You interviewing me, I would be able to speak freely. Okay. So I decided, you know what, let us do it. So I interviewed him. I never edited that interview. He was calling me, why are you not posting the interview? And I was telling him, oh, I'm busy, I will try and edit and post. So I edited and I posted it. But the moment I posted it on Friday. On Saturday morning, it had like 10,000 views, and I had, from 200 subscribers, I was at around 4,000 subscribers.
What?
Imagine. So I saw it as a God, given opportunity.
Very true.
It is like God had sent him to, repay me for the YouTube channel that, I had lost. And that is how people came to know, a YouTuber known as Hiram Maina Kamuhunjia, because that was the show that I did and it went viral. Yeah, and by the time, I was, the YouTube had grown, I started interviewing so many artists during that time, and it was good. I got subscribers. Yeah, that is how I started now my journey of, digital content creating up to now. Yeah.
And how did Kamuhunjia came to be?
Kamuhunjia, the name Kamuhunjia.
The name Kamuhunjia.
The name Kamuhunjia actually means a young pastor. A young pastor.
Mm-hmm.
It was in a film that I was doing in Noro, a vernacular station, Kikuyu station, and I was being called as Kamuhunjia. Kamuhunjia means because I was acting as a pastor, but because I was young, so okay. The people in that program, they used to call me Kamuhunjia. You see, you're a young pastor, yeah, that is how I, because outside there in Kikuyu location, Kikuyu locality, the Kikuyu where they are located, they know me as Kamuhunjia. Those who, watch Inoro, they know me as Kamuhunjia. So I came with that name even on my channel because I found it also interesting. Yeah, that is how it was born.
Okay. Now, Hiram, let me just dive into it because I can't stop wondering, where is your turban? People, we are used to seeing you with a turban all along, even when people have come to know you as Kamuhunjia, as Hiram, anyone you have interacted with. I believe they have interacted with you with a turban. So Hiram, where is your turban? You look different.
I look different, but not to everybody.
Oh.
There are people who have followed me, even when I was acting on Tahidi High. I have acted Tahidi High for a period of 8 years.
Okay.
And during my 8 years in that program, I've never had a turban. So you see, there are people who have never, maybe is a Luo, they have followed, because I have seen, I went even to Kakamega and people would recognize me as an actor on Tahidi High. Maybe they don't follow my Kikuyu stuff, my songs.
Yeah, true.
So they know me without the turban. You understand?
Yes.
Now, as an actor, the reason as to why I removed my turban, let me start from there. It is because, and as an actor, you need to be flexible. Flexibility means when I'm given a script, I read it, I internalize it, and I can be able to understand the character, Bible, of that character that I'm supposed to play. And therefore, when I was given that character, I was told this character, there is no trait that is shown or given to, to show that this person needs a turban.
Yeah.
So I was told, are you going to play that role? I did not refuse because I'm an actor. I am not supposed to choose any role. If I'm given to play a madman today, a role, I will play it. If I'm given to play a pastor, you see, in Inoro, I was acting as a pastor with my turban. It allowed me to play with a turban because that was a character. As a student, it did not require the turban, so I removed it. So what I can say is I'm this open-minded person as an actor, and I know so many people who are into media, they would understand. And I've been a Mokorino. A Mokorino, for those who don't know, there is a denomination in the Christianity religion, and they believe that you should wear your turban as a symbol of identity, to show that you are a member of the Akurinu church.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, I understand.
So, I want to speak this with utmost respect. In my journey as a Mokorino, I actually loved it. I loved being a Akurinu because that is how I was brought up. My parents, my family. Of course, I have siblings who don't have the taban, but we were brought up in an Akurinu church, and it was marvelous. I loved the worship, the praise in the church. I'm that person who do beat drums while I was young. I loved it. But let me say as it is, because I want people to understand. There are some things that can happen to a child, and they leave a mark, forever. They leave a mark in a way that when they grow up, they will be affected. And it is good for parents to realize, and even the church, the community, how you talk to a child, how you, you interact with your child. If you interact with a child mostly, kindly know that children are very delicate.
Yeah, true.
And how you interact with them, what you show them, without knowing, you can cause trauma that will affect them later in life. There are so many people who are dealing with trauma. They don't know they are dealing with trauma, but actually they are dealing with trauma, but they don't know, they can't give it a name, but they are always like, cursing things, not be able, they are not even being able to handle some stuff, but it's because of the trauma they had when they were young. And for me, I never knew I had a trauma, and I got wounded in the Akurinu church. Because what happened is, when I was in the upcountry, I used to, worship in the Akurinu church, and I used to be happy. But now when I came to Nairobi, without knowing, because I'm not mentioning names here, without knowing, I had wounds that even up to now as an adult, I would not want to continue as a Akurinu anymore. I never came to realize that this thing was tough. But I used to, when I got to Tahidi High, even before Tahidi High, as a family, because I was telling you, I've been brought up in a very, a struggling family. We are not struggling anymore. God has blessed us.
Yes.
But from where I came from, the church that I went to, have you ever found yourself you're in a place that you are not fitting in? Yes. That is how I found myself in a church that I'm struggling to fit in terms of social class and all that. And it really, because I came from a church where we were embraced. Mm-hmm. I came from a church in my country where there was so much love. We would worship together. There was no social class. It does not depend who you are. Mm-hmm. And now when I came to Nairobi, I found, this church, I cannot be able to interact with this person because they are of high class. Even if you try to talk to them, they will, just, they will not give you, they will not show you love. Mm-hmm. So it really made me now pull back, because I went to a church. I was supposed to be in Sunday school, but I never used to go because I will not fit in. And my parents knew, because even them, they were struggling with that acceptance. But for me, I now pulled back and I came to realize, I cannot fit in. I remember, and I will say it here, there was somebody who told me, why are you always like this? I had a suit, a very big suit. I looked funny at the age of 10, around 10, because I was in class 4. So you can imagine a class 4 boy wearing this big suit and a tie.
Yes.
And then somebody, why are you always like this? And then I did not know how to answer. And then he asked me, by the way, what would you want to become when you grow up? And I told him I would want to become an actor at Citizen TV. That was my prayer, you see. And he laughed. And he said, I'm sorry, that is tricky. I will never forget, that is tricky. Because kuingia huko unless my dad connects you. And I was like, why, you're just looking at my appearance, you're just, because somebody to tell a child like that, you can imagine telling a class 4 boy, mm-hmm. you cannot just forget about the
it.
dreams that you're having. But it is not because that he knew maybe what he was saying. It is because he's in a place also that, you know, has given him that belief that, you know, if you are like this, you'll never make it.
Yeah.
You know, and it really affected me as a child. So when I grew up, I grew up, now I went to Tahidi High. You know, as a Mokorino, you know, people believe you're not supposed to remove your turban.
Yes.
I'm just trying to show you where my trauma, you know, how they were born. People fought me. I remember there was a woman even in church came and talked to me very bad, telling me you are not going. And a man, I remember there is also a man who came and told me you're not supposed to be removing that turban. Get out of this church. You are making us look bad. And I was like, this is a job. This is what I am doing. So I actually remember talking to a pastor. This pastor was not from the Akurinu church. And I told him, is it wrong to act? Am I removing my turban to go to club
to sin? Yeah.
To sin?
No.
And he actually told me, no, Hiram. It's just that you are in a church where they are so fixed in a place where they cannot allow change. But you see, those are traumas. Without knowing, those are trauma, because now trauma even start with fears. Now I started asking, am I supposed to continue with acting? Am I supposed? But you know, people help. A lot of people came in and they talked to me and they told me, Hiram, continue acting, because this is a gift God gave you.
True.
There is no way God can give you this gift and then you, because of a charge, and you are not going to sin. You're just doing your job. I don't think God would have a problem with that. And then that was a moment now I started realizing, oh, it is good, because I remember there was somebody who told me, God is interested in your heart, not the appearance, Hiram. He is not interested in the denomination or the church that you're going to. He's interested with your heart. Now that really motivated me. And actually I started now on a journey of, you know, giving and talking to God more and telling him, God, you know, check my heart and see if there is something that I'm hiding, and then you will be the judge. And when I started acting, God blessed me. He blessed my work. He blessed everything that I would do. Even if now the church was fighting me, I was able to maneuver. So when I now became an adult, I moved out of my parents' house. I continued staying this turban because this is a church that I've been brought up in. But let me tell you, when I got into Tahidi High, I've never attended an Akurinu church from 2015 up to now. Still wearing my turban, but I have never gone to any Akurinu church unless I'm invited by somebody. And even when you go when you're invited, the people will look you like, you know, ish. So because people were telling me, you are making the Akurinu church look bad. If you're acting, you have to act with turban. Will you go and play a role like a gangster with a turban?
No,
will you play a role you are having, maybe because it's a script, a certain role, they will not fit the turban. You have to remove it. And actually by removing it, it means you are respecting that turban because you are not acting with it. You get it?
And just a question. I didn't mean to cut you.
It's okay.
Just a question. By any chance, at any particular time when you were acting at Tahidi High, did maybe the church that you used to go to, did they maybe ask for a meeting? You see, like an official meeting to get to know why you're removing the turban when you're acting. Like, did you maybe get to sit down maybe with a pastor or someone, just to maybe for them to give you maybe guidance, or you get to know, they let you know maybe this is what you're supposed to do, or this is what you're not supposed to do, or just let you like explain what is going on now that you're removing the turban when acting? Did you maybe get a platform like that, for, like guidance from the church?
Nobody even reached to me. I'm saying if I went to church, even if it is not the pastor who will come and tell you direct, somebody else would come. And I'm telling you, the member of the church would come and tell me, it is either I stop acting those things or I continue with the church. But they will not allow that. I'm a bad image to the church. But I remember asking them, what about those people who have those taban, but they go out there and sin? What about those people?
Yeah.
You should be interested with talking to those people. But for me, I'm just doing this because this is my line.
It's your job.
It's my job. This is what I do.
This is where you like. This is what gives you food.
Exactly.
Everything.
This is what puts something on my table. So I stayed with that taban from 2015 to 2024. That is 9 years without going to Akurinu church unless I'm being invited. God came, God started blessing me, but I felt I was not happy with it because I asked myself, what am I doing with this taban?
Yeah.
I'm not going to an Akurinu church. It has been 9 years because now I started fellowshipping with another church which is not an Akurinu church. So and I asked myself, what am I doing with this taban? I'm not going to that church. My family that I started, they don't have the taban. So what am I doing with it? Am I just wearing it because of my brand? What is the purpose of this taban? And I came to realize, no, I am using this taban because it is of no use. And the wound that is in my heart about when I wear it every morning, it is reminding me of so many things that I just want to let go. That is when I decided, you know what, I'm going to remove it because this does not define my relationship with God.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yes.
What really matters is what is in my heart, and I can say I know it is a beginning of something good. You understand? Because
Yes.
now I will feel my heart, the weight that has been in my heart. Kaput. Itakuwa imeisha.
So it's a decision that you have made.
It is a decision that I've made. Yes, and I know that I'm happy and I'm contented for doing it. I'm happy. I'm actually very happy.
So what should we expect now from the new Hiram?
Nothing.
I'm very curious.
Nothing.
Any changes?
Nothing is changing. I'm still Hiram. I'm still the person who will be bringing you shows here, podcasts, and I'll still continue singing. By then, I told you that I quitted music back then in 2018.
Yeah.
Now, when I got married, my wife is a musician. We sat down and started singing together also. We did a song and it did well. We thank the Lord and we thank also the people who really supported us. To Kasema, well, let me sing my verse because I collab. Kionele wabale diero ya noakwa bolera de ukage keno olelea desiragia ni mwisho wakwa gikora nikiambiria giaku ndi mundu na ndi na mauthu maingi ndana gũteithia Ngai wakwa nĩkuona ta wariganĩirwo nĩ niĩ no rĩu ndĩmũririkane nĩwe ũtũkinyithĩtie haha nĩtwagwĩta Ebeneza amũkĩra ngatho kuma ngoro-inĩ kuona nĩtũtwaranĩte wega nĩtwakwĩhokera rũciũ rwitũ na rĩrĩa ndaoya
Wene otigua.
Umenichezea kitu.
I can't sing.
Can you follow my key?
I'm avoiding to sing.
na rĩrĩa ndahoya we nĩ ũnjiguaga kĩrĩa kĩega harĩ niĩ nĩ njũĩ nĩ ũkũhe kĩrĩa kĩega harĩ niĩ nĩ njũĩ nĩ ũkũhe rĩrĩa ndĩ thĩna-inĩ we nĩ ũnjiguaga we nĩ ũnjoyaga na mathĩna makwa.
Wow.
Bado.
Wow.
Ndikũgiĩka tondũ Ngai nĩamenyagĩrĩra hingo ciothe nĩakuaga mĩrigo yakwa hĩndĩ ĩrĩa niĩ ndĩ thĩno niĩ ndirĩ ndĩrona rũciũ ira narĩo nĩ rĩhĩtũku no ũmũthĩ Ngai nĩoĩ mabataro makwa mothe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful songs.
Yeah, now I have a new song. People, I'm sure they have seen it, and I know you mnabarikiwa.
Tushirire uyu Lora gutire mundu ngendeithia tiga we Ngai nduire ndukareke thinike muno ndikoime gwaku thie ngehie ngetha wega nyone uru njorithia kuma kĩoho-inĩ kĩa thĩna we wĩgocithie ona wĩtĩkio wakwa ũngĩthira no ngwetereire we Ngai ona ũngĩaga gũkainda rĩrĩ ndikũnoga gũgweterera Ngai wakwa ndikanoga Mwathani.
It does not change anything. We are still following Christ. We are still following God, because in Him, that is where we can be helped. Because actually that song is just saying, I will not get tired. Despite the struggle, despite waiting for God for so long, because it's saying that I've waited for you, God, and you are not coming.
Yes.
And sometimes you get frustrated, but I'm here to tell you through that song that you have watched that don't get tired, because even if you get tired, Wanjiru, where will you go to?
Yeah, true.
Where will you go? It is only God. So you wait, you hold on, you keep holding on, and you tell God, please, God, come and help me sort this issue that I'm struggling with. Yeah, and we are still going to spread the gospel. We are still going to do what we do. Nothing has changed. Actually, it will get better for God's glory.
Amen. We are here for all that you have to offer from now.
Yes.
Eyes open, ears open.
Yes.
Yeah, and we are very curious to see more content and even more songs. You never know, maybe now you become now a real pastor.
A real pastor. You never know.
You never know. Maybe.
True.
Yeah, God, may God use you.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
because I believe it has taken you all that time to make that decision. Then the time has to be now.
Exactly.
And God truly has a purpose and reason.
Amen.
So Hiram, your parting shot.
My parting shot would be, I just want to talk to parents, people who interact with children on a day-to-day at a day-to-day period, and I tell them, when you are dealing with a child, you can traumatize them, you can give them trauma without knowing. How you deal with them, handle them with care, handle them in a good way. Pray to God to show you the way how to handle. Parents, the way you talk to your children, you might not know, but trust me, some of us have this trauma that we are trying to heal because they were created by some people who never knew that they were doing that. Even in churches, I've never seen a verse where Jesus, if we are talking about Christianity and about following Jesus, I've never seen a verse where it is written that Jesus was never interested with a sinner. I never saw a verse where Jesus was telling people, go away.
Actually,
go away.
He
came for those people. If you are seeing me, according to you, if you are seeing me going astray, what you are supposed to do as a follower of Christ, you are supposed to go down, humble yourself, and try to bring me closer to God. And with that, you will rescue me if I was going astray.
Yes, true.
But what are some of our Christians doing in our church? Chasing people away, talking bad without knowing that they are causing trauma. Instead, change life. Don't don't make somebody's life worse or destroy somebody's life. Instead, make a life out of that person.
Wow, make a life out of that person.
Yes,
that's so
that
good.
is what I would say. And thank you for watching.
Well, thank you so much, Hiram.
Yeah.
That was a boom.
I know.
But we are inspired, actually. Your story is really inspiring, and we wish you all the best. Yeah, and the blessings of the Lord, may they be up to you.
Amen.
Upon you, I mean.
Amen.
Okay, so we have come at the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more content and explosive, amazing content right here. Bye bye till next time.
Thank you.